done. If we did move forward and hire someone, could they do them? But what I heard was, if we do it like doing an employee, then no. So,
Right.
you know, they still wouldn't be able to do anything. So if that's the case, then I don't really think there's a point. But if we could hire them and just hire them as a contractor, like a 1099 instead of an actual employee, they would be under their insurance and their liability.
Right.
Like I said, if we want to get a better idea of what's being spent, I think it's easier for the directors to pull what they've approved over the course of the last 10 months to start figuring out the financials of it all.
It's hard when they haven't approved anything.
Okay, anything else on the maintenance person? Nope, we're good to go on this.
Who are you speaking of, Susan?
She's laughing at me. She's giving me the googly eyes, so just ignore her. Okay, so next up, there's no other new business, no other contracts or proposals, correct? Nothing? Okay, so owner Q&A. We have a real big group here tonight, so don't all race to come up here. I think I can't do the math, there's 6 people. I did the math like that, didn't you?
I am very proud of you.
There's 6 people. Owner Q&A or anybody who's on the Zoom, if you have questions, you can unmute yourself and ask.
I have a question.
Roxy.
When you meet with Abraham, can you talk to him about limiting the number of days that he can actually just not show up here? I mean, is it just he can work when he feels like it? Or does he have an assigned set number of days that he can take off in a year and still be working here? Because when we were managing him, when you were on vacation, he didn't show up. He just didn't show up.
He does different things.
He kind of thinks that he can make his own schedule and not communicate that to anybody, and that is part of the conversation
definitely
that
not
we're going to
looking
have.
for
We've talked to him about that also.
Because
I think you should establish,
Yeah.
you can have 5 days of your entire, because you only work 3 days a week. You can have 5 days a year off, that's it. 5. Or whatever that number is that you guys decide, but I think you need to set a line in the sand, because you just can't say it can't be excessive. What's excessive? To you, to me, to Janet, it's all different.
Well, my frustration has been that he does not give us adequate notice.
Yeah,
He'll
he just
tell us
doesn't
the
show
day
up.
before that he's going to be gone for 2 weeks, and it's like, if this was a normal job, you would not do that. You would know that you would get fired. So there has to be some level setting with him of, this is a job that he does get paid for, and the people in this community pay his salary and rely on him to do his work. And that work means that you are here when you're supposed to be, and if you're not going to be here, you give us adequate notice, period. None of us would be able to pull that crap in our jobs of, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on vacation for 2 weeks and I leave tomorrow. That does not happen. And yet, for some reason in his mind, he does not treat this as a job that he's getting paid for. And he needs to be reminded that it is. And if he does not like having to be accountable in such a manner, then he needs to find a new place to work, period.
I think it's probably because he's been doing it and getting away with it.
And that's
Yeah,
part of the
and
problem.
he's like, well, I've been doing this for the last, like Nancy said, 2.5 years, she's been
Yeah.
dealing with himself. But it is hard to find somebody to do what needs to be done for the money that he's being paid.
And-
So it's a catch-22
and-
situation.
So that's the challenge that we have right now, right? Is we don't know how much money we would need to have to be able to pay somebody who's more skilled and
Mhm.
capable
And to do it.
and to do it, right? To be actually employ them. So do we look to replace him with somebody who's going to do the same work, right? But maybe is reliable, actually communicates with us, takes direction when given, that type of thing? I don't know, but I think that if we give him, basically make it abundantly clear that this is the schedule, okay? This is the expectation that when you are working, you are documenting what you're doing because we need to know what is getting done, period. And if he's not giving us that information, then he needs to start. And make it abundantly clear that if he's not capable of doing that stuff and reporting that information and being considerate and notifying us in advance, then it's time for him to look for a different job. because we can't, why was he here today? Who approved him to be here today instead of coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
I didn't.
60 days.
I just drove in and there was his truck. So in what world do you get to just say, I'm not gonna come on a Friday, I'm gonna come on a Thursday instead?
Because he wants Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
But again, I mean, this is the part, he has somehow gotten in his mind that he can kind of decide for himself what his schedule is and all that. And we've had a very limited expectation, which is you work here 3 days a week and you're good to go. Well, no, because we have zero accountability with him. And so this is basically holding the feet to the fire to say, it is time for you to have clear understanding of what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, and that you're giving us information on what you're doing during the day. He has to be accountable, and for some reason he thinks that he's not. And I don't care if you're a minister, I do not care. The fact that you use that, to me, is a joke. But we cannot as a community continue to pay somebody to do a job that we have no evidence is actually being done.
I know you
What's
said
the
this before
board's
too.
plan B if you meet with him and he says, I'm out?
Susan?
Yeah, Susan's already doing this, I saw a couple of trees yesterday.
You know,
I'm kidding.
the
Austin has
the thing that I,
okay,
okay.
I gotta let Austin.
Go ahead.
No, I would maybe just pose it as, when you meet with him, you know, we do intend to let you go within the next month, you know, within 30 days. This is kind of your final, you know, this is your last chance. I think it's very fair, you give him an upfront heads up. You have 30 days to kind of get back on track, do what you're supposed to do, and if not, then, you know, let's move on. I would personally
And
rather,
even a job, he would be fired.
Yep.
truly,
I
yeah.
don't think he even cares enough, like honestly, that's
You know
just my
what?
take. I don't
Maybe not, but-
And if that's the case,
But he cares enough to
great.
put in his time
If
sheets
that's
to
the
get
case,
paid,
then,
right?
great, he doesn't have to, if he doesn't care enough about it, great.
That's right.
We'll wash our hands
Find
of
somebody
you,
else
and we'll
who
find
will.
somebody
Yeah.
who can do it. I have somebody who is employed by a friend on the island who is looking for work.
Yep.
So if we have to Band-Aid it, we'll Band-Aid it, but I'd like to at least let him understand that the time has come.
Mhm.
This is no longer, you get to pick and choose when you come here and pick and choose what you do. This is what the job is that this community is paying you to do. If you don't like it, move on. We had reports that the maintenance shed door is not locking. This was addressed with him on Monday. We have no idea whether or not he's fixed it. No clue.
I don't have a clue if he's ever done anything I've asked him to do, other than when you
The
report
dog
something to me,
safety.
nobody complains afterwards, I'm still waiting for it to get done, so I'm assuming it's getting done.
So,
But I have no confirmation, physical confirmation, in text message, email,
yeah. So
response of any
for
sort.
some reason, he just does not seem to think he's accountable to anybody here, and that has to be reined in. So,
Besides what we're talking about, one thing that upsets me is that he's turning in timesheets that are, if he's not here, are those actually what we're paying him?
Well, and again, he comes up with reasons, so, you know, there was one Monday when you saw him leave, or saw him come on, somebody saw him
Late.
arrive, and then you
Came in
saw him
late.
leave.
yeah,
And Laura sent the times to me.
yeah.
And when he turned in his time card, he said to me, I said to him, well, this isn't right, because you put 4 hours down, you weren't here that long. And he goes, well, I came on Tuesday, I just don't individually write it on the time card like that. If you need me to get that detailed, I guess I'll have to. But he was there Tuesday, because Laura told me I saw him out there today doing whatever it was. And I was
But
like, oh.
he's never there till 1 o'clock. And
He's supposed to be
putting-
here till noon.
No, no.
Yeah, he's putting 1 o'clock on his timesheets. Cause I took the picture and showed her.
Yeah, I don't. He puts in 4 hours, 3 days a week.
Yeah, he's never here till 1 o'clock.
So, I mean, all this to say, this will be presented to you.
Yep, yeah, I can tell him what we had a chat with a motion to adjourn.
You'll have a choice.
Money.
Any other owner Q&A or anything like that?
You, everybody?
All right, sounds like that's a no. We are adjourned.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.